Hello guys, my name is Emmanuel and today we're gonna do a tier list from all the gamera movies from worst to best. So I did a ranking video of all the gamera movies before on iMovie, but I think I'm gonna do my explanation on why I'm gonna rank them. So prepare your seatbelts and let's not waste any more time and dive right into it. So the movie we're gonna start off with is the original Gamera movie from 1965, and this film is probably yes, it's an enjoyable movie. I'm not gonna lie, I did watch the movie the American version, but I've decided to give the Japanese version a chance. But I didn't watch the Japanese version, but I think the Japanese version is probably superior. But I do have some problems with the movie, but I'll explain that later when I'll explain my main positive about the movie. So this movie is literally the start off with the show era of Gamera and the whole film, and the film that started it all. But just because the film started it all doesn't mean it's a masterpiece like the original Godzilla does. Yes, Godzilla is a masterpiece in the film that started it all, but Gamera, yes, he did create his own genre, his own franchise in the film, and this film is literally the start of it all, the original Gamera movie. But like I said it again, I do have some main negatives about the original Gamera movie. The subplot between Toshio and the ending. Why though? It's because, well, yes, the film is entertaining overall. When Gamera goes on a rampage to Tokyo and his introduction is like kind of badass. But the whole ending sequence, when it gets shot in a rocket, it's kind of look fucking ridiculous for like a monster which just gets sent into space. And also another fact that Gamera is a flying turtle. And they just send him to a rocket to shoot him into space. What could possibly go wrong if you send him to space? He could just fly way back to Earth and just come and just wreck shit up and just kill people again. Yes, this movie is literally enjoyable, but the ending in the subplot between Toshio is the main downfall of this movie. So both Toshio subplot and the rocket and the ending sequence are the main downfall for this movie. But I still think the original Gamera movie is really enjoyable. Not a masterpiece compared to the original Godzilla, because I do have some main negatives about the film. So I think my rating for this movie has to be on what should I put? B tier. So let's move on to Gamera versus Barugon. Gamera versus Barugon is literally, my favorites of the show era Gamera film, because this film literally took the darker tone in it and literally just did it perfectly. The characters are fun, the monster everything in this movie is so good. Well, yeah, the monster fights are kind of slow, but at least they're still fun and entertaining. And how scary it is, trying to seem that Gamera is always just a normal monster, just wrecking shit up, just doing everything he does, and just being a hero afterwards. But the other show games are, well, I'm gonna mention all that later. So this movie is probably one of my favorite in the Showa era Showa era franchise. But I have one negative about this movie, but the other things about Gamera versus Barugon versus, it's actually really good. But the only main negative about this movie is the weakness of Barugon. I mean, don't get me wrong, Barugon is actually a decent monster or kaiju or whatever, but the main reason why Baragons get defeated by water makes it so ridiculous. I mean, it just basically doesn't make any sense how in the hell Baragon he literally was weak to water, but he literally just came out of the water and during the sequence when he just comes out and wrecks shit up in Osaka. Including when they just spray water at him or something with some kind of helicopters, or even a few scenes when Baragon is literally like splashing in the water trying to kill the main antagonist. Yeah, I don't think this movie is... Yes, the movie is still fun and entertaining, And we're watching for any kaiju fans who want to see some destruction and just want to get the kids out of the movie. So I think I'm gonna give this movie an A tier. Yeah, I got them A tier. Well, I'm gonna change the rules now. I think the original Game of Thrones deserves to be a C tier. Sorry for my mistake here. I'm gonna be C tier because yeah, the whole ending. No, you're not just gonna put in B tier. Whatever. So Gamera versus Gauss. Here we go, boys. Go for the first film in the franchise in the show era. So yes, I think I love Gamera versus Gauss. It's probably one of my favorite films in the franchise. Well, I do love Gamera versus. I do enjoy Gamera versus Gauss more than the original film. Because well, at least the child has some kind. He's not useless anymore. Yes. Sometimes he can just run into problems, just caught and just get himself in danger. But at least he's not as useless as the original one. I mean Toshio. But yeah, this film is literally my favorite alongside Gamera versus Battleground, but not as perfect because yes, the child other can. I mean, sometimes the children can be quite annoying. But the Shylock is actually not that bad because he's now like useful anymore. He's literally useful instead of useless, like compared to the original Gamera movie. So in the new monster in the new monster called Gauss is actually really cool. I'm not gonna lie. So I think this movie deserves an A tier. So they're in the same right next to Gamera versus Battleground. Both of them are A tiers. They're actually good. Start off with Gamera versus Virus. Yep. This film is literally the start of the Black Sheep. This movie started up with the Black Sheep parts when they used old footage from the last movie. So yeah. Yes, this movie literally starts off with the fucking stock footage era and just makes it seem more cheapier and etc. I do think this movie, well, yes, does have the same formula as the last movies. Like Gamera vs. Gauss in the original Gamera, the use of children. But I think the children are useless as I expected. But this movie is literally going downhill because due to the fact they use old footage from all previous movies. Like they use stock footage from the other movies when the aliens are like trying to look Gamera's past and just mention that the whole history of Gamera all over again. I mean, why not? I mean, if the people literally didn't see the first three Gamera movies, then just go watch this movie. But I did know about the three Gamera films. But it's because if you guys didn't watch the three Gamera films, you're okay. You can watch this movie or just put an A tier or S tier or whatever. But if you already watched all these three movies, I think you could get bored of all watching old footage. And well, Virus is not one of my favorite kaijus. My favorite kaiju in the franchise. It's just kind of like a giant version of Squidward. Or any type of shit. But yes, he's decent, but he's literally meh. He's literally my least favorite villains of all time because he looks like a fucking giant squid. So yeah, we're probably gonna put this movie as C tier because this movie started the downfall for the whole stock footage era or any type of shit. Coming up next is Gamera vs. Giron. And oh boy, this movie has the same problem as Gamera vs. Virus. The whole stock footage era, or what the fuck. Yes, this movie has the same problem as the last movie, well, yet the use of... I mean, they copied the same storyline as the last movie with the whole alien plot, but at least it's not to take place on Earth. But I do think that this movie is probably more entertaining than Gamera versus Virus because in the last film it's just the fight of Gamera Gamera and Virus both fight in the end of the movie, but this movie just fights off from like in the middle of the film in the end. And yeah, and the monster fights in this movie are way more entertaining than Gamera versus Yes, Gamera vs. Virus has been entertaining battles only at the end because at least doesn't have any stock footage. This movie has a lot of footage of monster fighting and etc. So I'm probably gonna put this movie as B tier because yes, it does have entertaining fights. The characters are okay, I guess, but they're still kind of annoying. But at least they're useful. But I'm still gonna put this movie B tier better than the Gamma vs. Virus because yes, it does have the same problem as the last movie, where it includes stock footage and etc. So coming up next is Gamma vs. Jiger. Well, some people call this movie the best or the worst in the film in the Gamer franchise. But I still think this movie is actually really good, and probably deserves a more higher ranking than the other Gamma films. But I do think I do have the same problem as the last movie with the kids again. But at least this movie is actually really good, and I don't have any problems with it. Yes, and also this movie doesn't have any stock footage in it, so it makes this movie really good. Yes, it does have huge stock footage when Joy goes on a rampage through Osaka to see some old footage from Gamera versus Barugon. But despite all that, this movie is actually really good, and Jigo is actually a decent monster, and she's badass in this movie, even though she's what should I say, having fun with Gamera. eh. Jokes aside, but I think this movie deserves an A tier. Yep, A tier. Oh boy, Gamma vs. Zigra. Holy shit, this movie started off with the black sheep again. You know, guys, this film literally starts off with the black sheep. After Gamma vs. Jigo was meant to be my favorite alongside the three films, including, After Gamma vs. Jiger, the whole 70s craze just pops out from all over the place, and, well, this movie definitely did it. Holy shit, this movie is so goddamn mediocre. Yeah, I have to say, I'm sorry. But, yeah, I have my reason why this movie is basically the most black sheep in the film, the most black sheep in the franchise. Well, Gamma vs. Virus has a lot of stock footage, but at least it does have at least some parts are entertaining in Gamma vs. Virus. But this movie is probably one of the most boringest monster movies I've ever seen in my life. Glad I didn't watch this movie because, yes, there's some people literally hating it because how slow the fights are, how dull the human characters are, and etc. And, well, that makes sense why this movie is ranked so far lower. Yes, I do have some positive things about Gamma vs. Zigra is new monster and the new monster and I think that's it. That's all to say about Gamma vs. Zero. The only main positive thing about Gamma vs. Zero is the new monster. And yes, I completely started to hate no, I'm not gonna say hate. I'm gonna say I started to despise the human actors in this movie. The characters in the movie because how slow and dull they were. Oh, I forgot them. Another main positive about this movie is because at least it didn't have any stock footage in it, so that's a plus for this movie. But I don't think this movie is not that good, so I think this movie deserves an E tier because this movie's got it. Miss. Guys, I'm back from my absence because my mom just called me saying that she's going to the bank. So let's just ignore that what happened when I was absent for a few seconds. So let's continue with the list again. Coming out at the next film in the franchise. Holy shit! Yeah, I know where this is going because the next film in the franchise after Zigra. Holy shit, this movie fucking sucks and is Gamera Super Monster. Yes, you heard me. Gamera the Super Monster. The worst film in the Showa era Gamera franchise and probably the black sheep in the franchise. Yes, Gamera vs. Virus and Gamera vs. Zigra sometimes can be seen as a black sheep in the franchise because of the use of stock footage, but at least they're still fun and entertaining And the monster effects are really entertaining, not gonna lie. But holy shit, this movie's probably one of the worst gamer movies I've ever seen in my entire fucking life. You heard me. Fucking life. Sorry. Oh my goodness. This film is literally the main. This movie is probably one of the worst gamer movies I ever seen in my life. And heck, I even watched the full movie of this movie only because I want to see how far bad this movie it is. And yep, you heard me. It's so fucking garbage. And holy shit, I don't know what we're supposed to put. I don't know. I'm not gonna put this movie is more higher than the rest of them because this movie deserves a fucking F tier. AKA, get in the fucking bin of hell. Yeah, get in here, this piece of shit. Now that's out of the way. Let's start over with the refresh ones that make this movie, make the Gamera film a masterpiece. And then it's Gamera, the Guardian of the Universe, Revenge of Iris, and Gamera and Attack of Legion. Sorry, I just mistaken names. So I'm gonna put all these three movies from the Heisei era all the way S tier because they're all masterpieces. Oh, sorry, I need to put Attack of Legion here. All of them are masterpieces, from Gamera, the Guardian of the Universe to Revenge of Iris. All of them are masterpieces. And have no negative things about this movie. All of them deserve an S tier. Because they're literally masterpieces. And Gamera the Brave. And this film is actually another refresh for the franchise. After the Heisei era, this movie is some kind of another reboot for the franchise, but started like a millennium era for the giant turtle himself. And this movie deserves an A tier because, you know what? No, fuck. I'm gonna put S tier because another masterpiece as well. Because at least the dialogues are not as annoying as the Showa counterparts. This movie is actually way more entertaining, just like the other Gamera films. All of them are classics. All the Heisei era Gamera films, including Gamera film, are all goddamn masterpieces. And that's all for the day for this ranking video, the tier list video of Gamera. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Give it a like, subscribe, and see you guys next time. See ya!